Today, the MLB The Show 26 Legends trailer came out, which is actually a week early in the release cycle compared to what it did last year. I have not watched it yet, although I will say it's been out for hours now. I have seen names on Twitter and such. But we are going to get a true reaction here. We're going to talk about everything we can about it, give all my thoughts. Maybe we could do a little sleuth and what kind of cards we could get from some of these guys. But guys, if you want any MLB The Show 26 news as this game is coming out in the next 10 sleeps, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping videos on anything that is actually relevant, especially the Diamond Dynasty feature premiere coming out on Thursday. All right, let's see what we got here. Let me knock that quality down a little bit. Let's try this again. 10 more sleeps. That is better. All right, noted. My PC should not be running videos on 4K. It should be at 1080p. There's Pujols. Dustin Pedroia is new. 200 Legends. Some repeats here. Gary Nettles is new. The storylines players we knew about already. There's Roy Campanella, Felix, Jeremy Burnitz, Phil Rizzuto, Jeff Conine, Fred Lynn. We gotta talk about Fred Lynn in this. There's Andrew Jones, the new Hall of Famer. And that's all they showed. That is a short ass trailer. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Let's break this down a little bit. All right. Let's break this down a little bit. Dustin Pedroia, we got a cover athlete back in the game. I know there's some people that are very excited about that. Not gonna be anything crazy in Diamond Dynasty, but it'll be okay. Gary Nettles, or Craig Nettles. Why did I say Gary? That looks like a G. That looks like a G. Or is it a G? What is his first name? It's Craig, right? Now I gotta be looking. It's Greg? You spell Greg? Oh my God, you do spell Greg like that. I always thought it was just like Greg, like normal Greg. I'm aware of Nettles, but okay. Interesting. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. That is insane. But he is a new legend in the game. Then we get our storyline players. John Henry Poployd, Mamie Peanut Johnson, and George Mule Suttles. It's not very subtle, if you know what I mean. Randy Johnson. There is Roy Campanella. He will be a very good catcher card, I assume. I think he will have quite some good cards, but I'm worried about the swing. Don't know what the swing is going to look like. Jeremy Burnitz, I remember him from my childhood. Guy hit some bombs, if I remember correctly. Phil Rizzuto, I know, is a Yankee legend. And then Felix Hernandez, he's one of the new big ones they've already announced. Red Dentist. Red Dentist. Show me the dentist. I don't know. Red. Apparently he's a Cardinals legend. I really don't know much about him. We're going to research that together for sure. We got Griffey. Jeff Conine. Father of Griffin. Marlins franchise legend. Although he's about to lose his spot to a rookie at some point here pretty soon. We got Dave Roberts. And we got to talk about this right here. We got to talk about this right here. Let me move the camera down so you can understand what's happening here. Sir, whoever is making these at SDS, I'm sure you've heard by now, that's not Fred Lynn. That is Roman Anthony. Why? I know he's probably going to be a legend, but why are we using Roman Anthony for Fred Lynn? I'm going to pull up a picture of Fred Lynn. Let's see if they look anything alike. Now, I will say there might be a slight resemblance. Maybe. Let's pull up Fred Lynn on Baseball Reference real quick. He throws left-handed. Explain to me. How are you throwing with a glove on your hand? What are we doing here in making these, man? Like, why? Like, I feel like you got to know about this. This just doesn't make it through. I don't know. All I'm saying is for these trailers, a little attention to detail. I know Twitter's blowing up about it. In reality, it's not that big of a deal. It's really not. I'm just messing around a little bit, but like, we got to be better than that. Fred Lynn's a new legend, though. Dave Roberts is the new Jerry Harrison of cards that we will never use. W pinch runner when we can use, Pete Crow Armstrong off the bench. Right. And then we got Andrew Jones, the new Hall of Famer. Has always had an atrocious swing in the game. Hopefully they do him a little better with the swing and we will actually use him. Or maybe he gets like an early card or something. I don't know. But here are some of my thoughts. Before we actually get into breaking down some of the cards that these guys could have, if that'll be later in the video if you guys want to stick around. Adam Jones was not shown yet. He has already announced, and MLB The Show has retweeted it, that he will be in the game. So are they holding back some legends from the WBC? I don't know. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. That's all I'm saying. Maybe we get some other guys. They also didn't show guys like Jim Abbott, Buster Posey, that they kind of leaked during the Road to the Show stuff. I know that we got Carlos Beltran like 4 days before, or it was announced 4 days before the game actually came out that Carlos Beltran was in the game. Do we get somebody on that level like a Buster Posey? Are they going to give us a Buster Posey reveal even though they already kind of leaked it? I don't know. They said there's over 40 new legends, and including the storylines, guys. I feel like there's still some missing. So I think we're still going to find out more maybe during the DD franchise premiere on Thursday. Maybe next week they drop something with them in it. Maybe during the live content, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, I know the game's coming out in 5 hours, but we got these legends too. I don't know. I will say everyone is right to feel that this Legends trailer is a little underwhelming. But also I feel like, is it a swerve? Are we in WWE wrestling right now? I don't know. Koji Uehara, remember him in MLB The Show 18? Koji was crazy in MLB The Show 18. But what I want to do with all these legends is kind of go back and look at their stats and think what kind of, cards we can get out of them. I will say that Albert Pujols is big. So, I mean, we've known about Pujols, but he is huge. Like, this isn't a down year on legends when you get a guy like Albert Pujols, in my opinion. But let's go to the stats. This is Fred Lynn. The year I want to highlight is 1979, where out of nowhere he had an 8.9 WAR season, hit 333, one dotted OPS wise, with 39 home runs and 122 RBI. I suspect also this year got him 4th in MVP, by the way. That is insane to me. I do feel like this is probably going to be his 99 card, whatever the best card we get of him. It will be that. 8.9 WAR being MVP 4 is crazy. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they didn't really use WAR back then. Greg Nettles. I hate the spelling of that. But he is a third baseman. Not a career Yankee, but was there most of his career. He had some good seasons too. He had one with Cleveland, which we might get early. How does he have 7.5 WAR and a 785 OPS? His fielding must be insane. To be fair, though, 28 home runs that year. And then in 1976, one of his better years for sure. By WAR, it's his best. By home runs, he had 32 that year. But the 77 and 78 years, less WAR, but 37 home runs, 107 RBI, and his highest career OPS. This is probably the best card we're going to see. And it's not going to be anything crazy, but I suspect it'll be, if we get it early enough, it'll be playable. That's what I'm thinking. We already kind of went through the storylines players, so I'm going to avoid that right now because we went through that at some point. Roy Campanella. This is going to be one of the bigger cards, I feel like. Catcher. We always want good hitting cards at catcher, and that's tough to find. If we go in the Negro Leagues, had a couple good seasons, I would say, but he wasn't really a home run hitter until he got to Brooklyn, and this is where I feel like we're going to get the 99 overall cards. 1953, 41 home runs, 142 RBIs, one dotted in OPS. That is actually nuts, if I'm being honest. I think this is probably going to be the best card that we get out of him. Did he ever steal bases too? Not really. So he won't have any speed, but 1953 is definitely going to be his best card. The question is he going to be better than Biz? I didn't really use Biz outside of that one randomly generated team, and he was pretty good for that team, wasn't he? All right, Jeremy Burnitz. This is childhood for me. This is absolute childhood for me. Early 2000s, mid 2000s. He was a Cub in 05. His best year, though, WAR-wise, is probably 1999 when he had a 963 OPS. He hit tanks, though. I mean, 38, 33, 34, 31, another 31, a 37 with Colorado before the Cubs got him. Shocking. Cubs got the late end of that. But we'll probably get like a veteran one that's pretty good from 04 when he was 35. And then like his prime career probably like in this 98 to 01 stretch. But definitely some high power cards out of him, I'd say. And he had some seasons where he stole some bases. He was 20-20 in 97, the year I was born. I know that may shock a lot of you guys. I'm one of those 1990s. I was born in the 90s. The 1900s, as the kids say nowadays. He's an affinity guy for sure. I could definitely see him getting a better affinity card. 100%. I would agree with that. Yep, Cubs legend. If we use a Cubs all-time Cubs theme team, we will be putting Jeremy Burnitz on it. That's for sure. And then Phil Rizzuto. We all know Felix, so I'm not really going to go over him. But Phil Rizzuto. He was a shortstop that had 1,500 hits over his career, did not hit for any power. He was also in the Navy. Shout out Phil. Yeah, a career high 7 home runs. Didn't really steal a lot of bases either. High WAR player. He had an 857 OPS. I mean, the 1950s the year. He won MVP. 857 OPS. Only had 7 home runs, but it was a career high. 12 stolen bases. He's not gonna have crazy speed. I don't see anybody using this guy. I'll be real. Some Yankees fans will. He'll probably be amazing defensively. 200 hits in that year. I mean, he'll have good contact. I probably won't be using him. All right, we got to talk about Red Shown Dentist. I know that's not how you pronounce it, but I kind of like the idea of calling him Shown Dentist. Respect the Navy legend. Hey, man. Shout out him for being in the Navy, like I said. Red. Career high 907 OPS in 1953. He was MVP for the year he was 795. He had 200 hits, which was a career high. 31 doubles, 15 home runs, tied a career high, and he was MVP 3. What position he played? He was second baseman and left fielder. So this is a worse Alfonso Soriano. That's kind of the way I see him right now. Don't know how much I'll use him. Right-handed hitter as well. Is this our new Bill Mazeroski? Am I crazy here? Navy guy here. Hey, shout out, Bobby. Shout out, man. We appreciate you. Like, this feels like our new Bill. Wait, what am I missing here? You guys know who I'm talking about, right? I know I'm saying Mazeroski like the pitcher, but I'm thinking of the fucking second baseman on the Pirates. Mazeroski. Thank you. Bill Mazeroski. Okay, so less hits. Okay, Bill was by far a worse hitter. Never mind. I am wrong. He is a better Bill and a worse Soriano. I might have cooked. I also may not have, and Cardinals fans are going to hate me. But you know what? Let's be honest. You guys already do. I'm a Cubs fan. Jeff Conine. He also played during that time period I talked about earlier with Jeremy Burnitz. What will his best card be? He had one season in 03 where he had 20. He had 26 and 25. Okay, these Marlins seasons are probably his peak. Peak OPSs as well. I would suspect 95 will get one of his better cards. 899 OPS was a career high. 25 home runs, 26 doubles, 105 RBI though, and they probably care about that quite a bit. They'll also get a decent Baltimore card, I bet, but nothing crazy. I don't need to see all that. Probably not a great Royals card. It's gonna be mostly Florida cards for his best, and then maybe a Baltimore one. I would suspect. I'll take the Marlin for the theme team. Yeah, that's about. He's a theme team card for sure. Dave Roberts, we all know he had the legendary stolen base. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how in any world somebody will use this guy in Diamond Dynasty. Career high 8 home runs. Now, he stole a fuck ton of bases in his career, but he never really hit. Like, this is the most Jerry Hairston Jr. like card that we're probably gonna get without it being Jerry Hairston, which is already in the game. Dodgers fans will use him, maybe. I don't know. He's probably like early game Dodgers team affinity, and everyone's gonna hate everything about it. Fred Lynn, we already talked about. And then Andrew Jones. If you aren't aware of how good Andrew Jones was, even though he just made the Hall of Fame, this guy was absurd until he turned like 30, and then he was really bad. But one of the best defensive center fielders of all time. You will love him for that. Early in his career, he stole bases. You will love him for that. And then in 05, 51 home runs with 128 RBI. Yeah, this guy fucked. This guy fucked. If they can fix his swing, I will be so happy. By the way, how did he not win MVP in 05? 51 home runs, 22 OPS. He is one of the best defenders of all time. Who the fuck won MVP? Why am I forgetting this? 05 MVP was Pujols. You know what? Yeah, that checks. I'll allow that. I'll definitely allow that. But Andrew Jones, he might have deserved it. That's all I'm saying. But that is the Legends trailer. My thoughts, a little underwhelming. Maybe we get more. Hopefully we get more. If you want to get your hopes up, great. If you don't, I don't blame you, honestly. But guys, hope you have enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.